Okay, hey, how are we doing today? Welcome back. Welcome if it's your first time taking a walk with me, I'll say. This has been really fun. I just want to say thank you again to everybody who has contributed in the Discord and that comments on these videos, and for all of your awesome creations as well. This is really fun, and I cannot wait to get an Ornament 8 and to continue growing with just the patch ideas and everything. It's just, anyway, there's enough here with the Pulsar, so let's just get into this. I'm gonna have links down below for all these cool friends that are making good music. So I'm just mentioning Guire McGuire, Dopamine, ZnZerna, and a Crunchy Dinosaur, who is doing some pretty cool stuff with the Ornament 8 and the Lyra and the Pulsar. No, I don't know if there was a Lyra, but Ornament 8 and Pulsar. Now I feel crazy, but it was really interesting to see the two and just to have them talk through it kind of like this, just casually, and to see how it works out. There were a lot of happy accidents and a lot of really cool stuff coming out of that organic feel of the push and pull of those different sequence channels. I'm excited. Anyway, let's see. Let's get into this bad boy. Waking up. Let's see. So today I wanted to use the LFO to be a synth voice. So kind of utilizing these two channels to be the synth voice. Actually, speaking of Guire McGuire, they did a video about that, and he used noise through the VCA into the reverb, I believe it was. I am going to just do the triangle directly in, and then utilize the reverb volume as just to attenuate that. You could also use the reverb out through a VCA and trigger that to send that someplace else, or send that to the mix in through an attenuator maybe, or something, or through the VCA mix in, or I'm all over the place. What I'm going to do is just run it like this, and then connect. First I'll clock this Shaos up. I like to keep it a little slower right now, so I'll clock the Shaos up with a 4, and then run the 3-bit directly to the frequency mod, and then you get the that Shaos modulation, just changing the pitch like I do with the bass. And I would say the mid speed is really nice with the LFO, and I'm not sure if anybody else has made a video about that. I feel like this has been talked about, the LFO going fast, so I just think it's kind of cool to I don't know, I just wanted to do that 5th voice start. I think it's a great slow start. I'm thinking a lot about slow starts, like I've done patches that start with like the snare drum and the hi-hat pulsating back and forth with noise, so it sounds like, almost like waves, and then you can kind of record that and build a patch off of that. I think of this as kind of a slow start. You can come in with something, you can even get a little like slower and kind of weird with it, and you can come in like really slow. That's another thing. Be careful with the high. If you're going to switch it over to high, make sure the volume's down, because let me show you, high gets very high. Even with that reverb volume way down, it's like kicking. You can attenuate it. You can always send it through an attenuator, like I said. So with something, if you want to use the high, maybe you want to really attenuate that. Right now I was thinking a nice bassy kind of lower feel, like that's a little more, that's subtle, right? Cool. Now I like that. I also wanted to just demonstrate that you could utilize, if you don't want to use the LFO through the inverter for the switches, but you still want to use 2 switches to send rhythm to the hi-hat. It's kind of interesting if you wanted to send the 0.5 clock to the CV, and then I'll just go fast with it. Go 16, and then I'll connect It might be too slow, but I'm going to connect 2 to the other switch, and then 16 is going to go directly to the hi-hat, and then I'm going to have the inverted 0.5 go through, or I'm going to have the 0.5 go through the inverter here, and CV that up. I think I tried the gate inverter, and I don't think the gate inverter really, I'm going to try it again just to demonstrate, but first let me run this switch out to a impulse converter and run that to the snare drum, and let's see what these sound like. Very fun. Oh, it's going very slow. I'm going to bring the tempo up a little bit, y'all. Hope you don't mind. So I have it at 89 right now, which is way too slow for me right now. I'll go up to 128. I think that's fine. So I just wanted to demonstrate that you could, if you don't want to use the LFO inverter LFO, and you don't mind using the 0.5, just using that inverted, it's cool. But then you do lose the inverter. I said I was going to try this out. So here's the gate inverter. See, it sends something through. So if I connect it to like 10 volts or something, then it works. So if you wanted, so this one gets kind of tricky. So you can kind of like, if you want to, maybe you could utilize the Shaos to flip that around, but then it only does it ever so often. So that's kind of a cool way to just get a little variation out of that too, I guess. I just kind of stumbled upon that. I haven't utilized that enough, but I think that's kind of cool. The fact that it bleeds through though, I feel like I don't want the straight tempo coming through if there's yeah, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm losing my mind. I kind of don't mind that though, and that way I could utilize the kick envelope. Sorry, that kind of took me back because I didn't apply any CV to it, and I know I feel like an idiot now not doing that. So I think this kind of gives a little more life like this. This is kind of cool, and if I wanted to get a little more variation, I could probably connect it to the 2-bit. And then I can also run, I don't know, maybe I'll run 8 also. Make sure the pins don't touch. Like that. Alright, cool. How about I attenuate that too? So basically what did I want to do? I wanted to give the snare a little more love by connecting the 8. So let's see how that works. And I also wanted to run the trigger of the hi-hat through this resistor up here, the diode, whatever resistor, diode. I'm losing my mind. I'm going to run that through. What just happened there? I love it when the Shaos gets all like weirded out. So now I want to add a little love to this synth line by adding the bass line in, and I'm going to also connect the bass drum to the same kind of snare feel. Let's see, so it's kind of connected to the 8, so it's going to be a faster tempo. And I would like to connect the kick to 4 through the 0.1 attenuator. I think something's touching somewhere, so I'm going to try to make sure I keep the rubbers down, boys and girls. Keep the rubbers down. You don't want those things touching. Let's see, cool. So I wanted to get the kick involved in as well. So I got the kick through 4, the clock divider 4, Going into that kick. I got that tune way up from last night. I was jamming out. Okay. So let's get the I see. Alright, so bring that back to CV mode here. Kind of tune that up with the LFO, try to get those. That's the hardest part. It's getting that LFO tuned up to something that you like. And then I do want to mess with the data pin. So what am I doing? I'm running the ground through a VCA to go to the bass CV. I'm not going to plug that in right away because as soon as I do, the voice is going to change. That's a little heads up. If you connect something to the, anything to that CVN, it's going to alter the pitch. So if you're grooving to what's coming out of that right now, it's going to change the pitch. So what I want to do, I think I'll just run it to the same Shaos pin, the 3-bit. So what we're going to hear is this change here. Okay. Alright, just take what you can get. And I would like to modify that. So what kind of data do you want to send through this? Maybe I could I want to kind of run the Shaos back to itself. So I'm going to connect, I'm going to run the 2-bit. Since the LFO and the bass are both on 3-bit, I'm going to run that 2-bit to itself. There you go. See what's cool? I tried this the other day. When you back off the attenuation into the data pin, it kind of stops at a phrase, and then you can send more through it. You're kind of sending that 2-bit through it, and I think it's pushing I don't know if it's changing a lot. It might just be shifting the placement of everything, but it's all the same voltage. Maybe if you kind of give it a little live action by moving the knob around, that might do something for you. But yeah, let's see. And that's kind of all I really wanted to talk about today. I thought that LFO coming through is really fun, and you could also, if you add, that's what I did. So I just keep connecting that 3-bit Shaos. So the 3-bit is what the LFO is getting and what the bass is getting. And so it kind of, I think, well, on the, on the clock mod, it kind of adds a cool feel to stuff. When it comes to the reverb, anyway. Just to correlate the 3-bit Shaos to the modulation of the clock is kind of cool. I was getting some really dirty, gritty stuff. Let me just get. And mess with it. I don't know, just mess around with that. I don't know. This is really fun stuff. I was getting an extra voice out of it. And then maybe you can connect the LFO to the bass. Since since they're playing the same kind of Shaos lines, and maybe it'll get some fuzziness to the heads up. Don't know what to expect. I feel like the pitch is also a little affected by the wave shape as well, just for the harmonics and what you get out of it, so you can get some different stuff that way. Cool. I don't know. Thanks. I hope you're having a good week. Very simple stuff in a way. Nothing too crazy, but let me just keep modulating stuff. I'm just gonna connect the two-bit shafts to the warp. And just for fun, let me switch over to percussion mode and bring that pitch way up. Since we already have kind of a voice going on over here, let me mess with the phrasing a little bit. And I love the pitch, changing the pitch of the CV with percussion mode. It just gives you some pretty cool tinks, little tinks all over the place. I don't know. I hope you found this inspirational, beneficial some way. Yeah, so if you don't want to... Alright, buddy. I hear you. Where are you going to freeze at now? See, that's what's cool. So I find that when... so I got off track, but if you back off the attenuator, you don't get a repeating phrase that you heard a second ago. I think you get a repeating phrase, like the next repeating phrase, that because I feel like I never capture what I just heard if I hear something cool and pull it back, but I get like just the next random phrase. It's just repeating now. Okay, extended edition. I'm going to do one more thing. So instead, I'm going to connect the sample and hold to the clock instead of the clock. Let's see what happens. So, see, what I think is, I'm not sure how it works, but I think the sample and hold engages when there's a clock. I don't know how much it changes stuff when there's no voltage there. I'm not positive. I guess it says it runs at the same samples at the same pulse of the clock, but I feel like you get a lot of weird stuff when you clock the sample and hold. So if you want truly random or truly sampled and held stuff, I feel like you have to you get some weird stuff, dude. See, I'm just attenuating it down a little bit, but it's still getting the data. It's still picking up that data stuff. I don't know. It's just I think that's really fun. So yeah, I just clocked this sample and hold, and then the data is running the 2-bit through an attenuator back to the data. So it's kind of eating itself, but it's kind of cool. It's giving it. That's all coming from the LFO too. That background sound, which is kind of cool. And then you got just the clunkiness of that bass channel. Let me bring it back to CV mode and see what happens. So I do do still have delay working for me, so I could, I do have the FX channel set to delay, so that's good, and I can just run that bass right out to that. And it's getting all that clock mod love too from the Shaos. I hope this made sense. This was a lot. This got a little more complicated than I wanted it to. This inverter at the very beginning, utilizing the, utilizing the Shaos to trigger that. Okay, I opened a new level for me. That's a new level for me on the inverter to still get the pulses that are going through when there's no voltage applied to the 10 volt, but then also apply 10 volt to it through the Shaos or attenuated Shaos or whatever to that CV, and then it'll change pulses. I don't know if that makes sense, but you can get some really random stuff then, especially if the sample and hold is sampling and changing stuff. And if it's sampling itself, I think it's getting kind of ultra random and just kind of, I don't know if, I think the attenuator might help because then maybe you can get more varied voltages into the data pin. Okay, cool. I hope you're having a wonderful day. I don't know, I'm just gonna let it ride, and I'll see you in the next one, if not in Discord, or post your videos and let me know about them. I'd love to check those out. Thank you to everybody again for being here, and for your continued support is overwhelmingly awesome. And yeah, I love what you do too, so here we go. Have a good week, guys. I'll talk to you. Myra. Tune it all up again because the lyra's out of tune and I'm not tuning all late. I don't know. Here we go. I can't tell, my ears are just dead, but anyway, thank you. Peace. Peace, love you. Hope this one was in focus. Thank you, John O. Wells.